Good morning and a very warm welcome to the Economic Times ETHR world. I'm Himanshi Tiwari and we have a distinguished guest with us, General Bikram Singh, former Chief of the Indian Army. And today at our discussion we'll be talking about the realm of skills, the landscape of future skills, and how can we actually look at making organizations future ready. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. So our first question is, there have been various researchers 50% of workforce is now required to be reskilled or upskilled to be future ready actually. So at the time when things are evolving super quickly, how do you think one can be relevant in the current atmosphere?
Remaining relevant is the key to success, whether it's the individual success or the organizational success. And remaining relevant requires a timely adaptation, it requires innovation, it requires transformation. And adaptation, more importantly, is in the minds of the leader, so they can pass it on to the subordinates. And when you adapt from the point of view to remain relevant. You adapt not just the personnel, which is a very difficult thing because people do not want to get out from their comfort zones. That is something which actually is the hardest thing. But you adapt in terms of your technology, your processes, your structures. They may have to be changed. That's what you do. And in the military, two things we always, two principles we always go by is remaining ready and relevant. Ready in terms of ensuring that our combat power is ready to take on any challenges at any point of time. And of course, relevant in terms of being able to remain abreast with the changes that are occurring in the environment.
So there's so much to learn about learning culture from military, right? So what can organizations actually learn from military when it comes to making a culture of learning and making a place of continuous learning for the professionals?
Learning culture of the military is on account of the fact that, as I said earlier, it's the adaptive, innovative, learning and a value-driven culture of the Indian Army. Learning is on account of the fact that the leaders understand that unless they remain abreast of the latest best practices, the latest traditions, latest customs, the latest lessons which are there, emerging trends, latest trends which are over there in the marketplace, in the war fighting arena, we shall not be able to thrive in a dynamic world. And therefore, learning is very important. And as far as learning is concerned, besides the basic knowledge which is imparted to a soldier, we are going for enhancing their capabilities, empowering them intellectually in associated fields as well. And let me tell you, like for example, I mentioned earlier that in case, whenever a book related to the army culture, army strategy, military operations, risk management, strategic risk management, intelligence management, any of these books, they hit the bookshelves. The battalion commanders, they get hold of these books. They are discussed in the battalions during the officer mess evening dinners. Officers are detailed to give presentations on those. We send our people to various institutions, the best of institutions, to gain knowledge, which is shared, vertically and horizontally and even diagonally. We make sure this information is spread across. It is not that a person goes and attends, for example, a course at IIM and gets back. No, he or she makes a very comprehensive report, which is shared on need-to-know basis with various, verticals of the organization. So this is how we ensure that the knowledge is shared, and we continue to build on our knowledge. We have idea showering sessions, we have brainstorming session. Every event is followed up, with a debrief, which is again shared. The lessons learned thereof are shared with the people. So this is how we go about creating a learning culture.
That was a great point, sir. Now, I would want to dive into the technology space. Like there's so much of automation, there's so much of disruption of new technologies, AI, chat GPT and whatnot. So how can organizations look at making their employees ready for every new technology that comes our way?
As investment in terms of time and money. I think the greatest investment which the Army makes is in training. We emphasize a lot training. And I would suggest that even to the corporate sector and other fields of human endeavor, to invest in the training as much as they can. Because there's no point getting technology when people cannot use it. Do you know 80% of the problems in cyber warfare, cyber attacks, they take place because of the failures on the part of the people. 80% of them. You know, there are three things when you cater for the cybersecurity. You look at technology, people, and the procedures. It's the people who get away from the procedures. And therefore, you've got to train them to make sure they remain aligned to the security environment conditions, the security do's and don'ts that have been given out to make sure we don't falter. So training is the key to this.
What advice you would like to give to L&D professionals, especially on the skills they should nurture, to adapt to the evolving workspace?
As I said earlier, skills fall into four categories, competencies. We in the military, we create people of character and competence. Character includes the attributes like willpower, not giving up, having mental endurance, being affable, being good leaders. These are the attributes. Attributes along with values, they make, the character. And then you have the skill sets. Skill sets get divided into four categories. The technical skills, which are essentially required by every individual to carry out the basic tasks, understand the technology, AI, IT, everything. The second is your tactical skills, which are more pertaining to the army. But however, that notwithstanding, it is applicable to the corporate sector as well, in terms of negotiations, in terms of, I would say market penetration, market expansion. Tactics do help you out, so it is required. The third is your conceptual skills, which enables the leaders to operate with ideas, to operate in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous situation in an interministerial, interdepartmental organization where there is a lot of uncertainty, where decisions have got to be taken, very limited information is available. And that is where the conceptual skills come in, where the strategic art is very important. You acquire over a period of time, frames of reference, strategic frames of reference will help you take decision. Strategic frames of reference, they actually regulate the behavior of the strategic leaders. So these skills are there, and the last one is the interpersonal skills, the ability of communicating, the ability to be a good listener, active listener, and of course, lastly, to listen to the unsaid words by your colleagues, by your subordinates, the unspoken words, and that is the body language, understanding the non-verbal communications. These are the four actually major skill sets in which you will find, you talk of technology, anything. This is where the four skills are going to actually come into. So as long as the leaders are, focused on these four categories, there'll be no problem. You'll be able to thrive in tomorrow's world and today's world.
Of course, so it's not just the hard skills, I guess, it's the soft skills that makes the difference. Absolutely. And make you more relevant and agile in the changing world of work, actually. Thank you, sir, for giving us your time, and thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights with us. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. That was all for this show. Stay tuned for more updates.